Hello everybody, welcome again back to Beers with Barry. Been a couple weeks since we did the last episode, been real busy lately. For those of you who don't know, I'm back home full time and not traveling for my job anymore, started a new job. So I'm home in town all the time, but the transition's been a little hectic and I've been very busy. So last weekend unfortunately we couldn't do anything. But back with a vengeance this weekend and ready to talk stuff. We'll start out with something I read on Drudge Report the other day and then break into how it affects me personally in a sense. If nobody knows what Drudge Report is, it's a wonderful aggregate website that just has a bunch of links to news around the web. And a lot of people consider it very right-leaning because Matt Drudge is a conservative and a champion of the right. But he also links to a bunch of stories from left-leaning websites, CNN, NBC, Washington Post, New York Times, all this, so you can find anything there. You can find truly newsworthy stories about politics and, foreign affairs and other stuff. And you can also find links to crazy shit to the Smoking Gun and TMZ and actually we'll bring this up. It's a little funny, Smoking Gun. It was a link on the Drudge Report probably a couple years ago now that I saw. But the cops are called to a hotel that I guess you wouldn't call them homeless people because they were living in a hotel, but they were welfare people put up by the local welfare office in this hotel, and they were partying and getting drunk. And this girl, she wanted to be orally satisfied by one of the guys she was partying with. And at first the guy agreed that, yeah, I'll orally satisfy you. And she stripped her clothes off, and when he got closer, he could smell her pussy from a few feet away, and it was fucking rancid and awful. And he told her, no fucking way am I gonna eat that thing, it fucking stinks. Well, this chick freaked out and pulled a knife and threatened to kill the guy. And the cops are called and they show up, and of course she was arrested for menacing and making threatening statements and attempted assault with a weapon or whatever. But I was writing a police report because this guy wouldn't eat her pussy, and the guy's defense was, well, it fucking stinks so bad, there's no way I'm going to do it. So, that's one of the links that was on the Drudge Report. So, that's kind of weird, but I laughed when I read it. It's kind of comical. When I think about it, I'm sure I would have said no too. If you can smell it from a couple feet away, back the fuck off, turn around and run. So anyway, Drudge Report. Couple headlines I saw last week reading it last weekend because I was preparing to film last weekend and it just fell through. But anyway, federal government, the IRS, brought in a record $3.27 trillion in taxes last year. The most they've ever brought in. 3.2, that's a lot of fucking money. The funny thing is, with all the taxes that we all pay, and some of the taxes that some people don't pay, the government still brought in $3.27 trillion with a T, dollars. Don't get excited, Dookie. $3.27 trillion. Yet at the same time, the deficit jumped 34%. So if you're bringing in record amounts of money, how does the deficit still go up that high? Well, it's the way the government is run. It's the job of the president and Congress and all the powers that be who are supposed to have our best interest in mind that have let this happen. Over Obama's last 8 years. And I'm telling you, if you vote for Hillary, you're going to get 4 more years of the same. Record tax revenue, record deficits. Not sure that Trump can fix it all, but hey, Just like, the African Americans he's pandering to. I pander to all taxpayers. The status quo of the government and the way they've been doing things obviously is not working. The country is headed in the wrong direction. Tax revenue goes up, deficit goes up. Pretty sure if the tax revenue goes up and is at record highs, the deficit should be going down a little bit, you would think. So, I'm just saying, instead of doing the same old, and voting for Hillary and getting 4 more years basically of Obama, go out on a limb. Vote for Trump. What do you got to lose? And then to break it down into a more personal thing, the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. Plenty of politicians have called for a ban and a dismantling of the IRS. And you know what? I've had to deal with the IRS more often than I'd like to, for sure. I mean, every year we have to deal with them when you have to do your taxes. And, for some of the lucky ones, depending on the amount of money you make and the amount of taxes you pay in, you pay in some taxes throughout the year out of your paycheck. But then at the end of the year, you get a tax return and get some money back. You never get back as much as you put in, but hopefully you get something back. Unfortunately for me, over the last couple years, I've made enough to where I don't get anything back. Not only do I pay in all year long, but then when tax time comes, I fucking owe them more. It's like, I've been giving you money every fucking week all year long, and you still want more from me? What about some of these people on welfare who don't work and don't pay any taxes for fuck all, and at tax time, they get $5,000 back. They haven't paid a dime into the system all fucking year, and then you give them a $5,000 fucking windfall in the spring, and I pay in whatever, $9, $10,000 or so in taxes throughout the year, and come tax time, I owe them another fucking $1,500, and I've been working my balls off all year. Not sure how that's fair, And then you got the super rich and the corporations, tax loopholes. They get away with shit. They write stuff off. Warren Buffett paying at a lesser tax rate than his secretary. Multi-billion-dollar corporations, GE, Boeing, Apple, whatever, paying next to nothing in taxes when they make more fucking money than God. But the government needs to fix that. The politicians need to fix that. That's what Trump has told Hillary when she complains about him claiming bankruptcy or not paying any taxes. Then you've been a politician for 30 years. It's your laws and rules that let that happen. If you don't like it, fucking change it. Well, I can tell you what, they definitely need to fucking change something. Because the IRS is a total fucking shit show. They're the most incompetent bunch of fucks of any government agency that I've had to deal with. Thankfully, it's not a whole lot of them. But, being a divorced father, child support on a state level, I got to deal with New York State Child Support Court and Child Support Division and whatever. And I've done that. Hasn't always been good. They've fucked me around and, done me wrong a couple times. But I pay my support, I pay my bills, I do whatever, I don't have much more longer and I'll be done with them. But the IRS, unfortunately, as a working American, and you make money, the government taxes you, the IRS is here to stay. They're with you till the fucking day you die, as long as you're making money, because they want to get their fucking dick skinners on it and take their share. So what happened with me, when tax time came around and things were tight for me, with working out of town and paying rent at an extra place and gas back and forth to Albany every weekend, paying child support, money got tight, and I was having a hard time making ends meet. And like more than 50% of Americans I basically live paycheck to paycheck. You know, empty bottle returns to empty bottle returns. That's why I drink as much as I do. It's an investment in my future. The more I drink, the more money I get back when I bring my bottles to the redemption center. So I need to make a quick nickel, so bear with me. Oh, it's only about 2.5 cents, but I'll get the other half in a minute. So anyway, I owed money to the IRS. At the time, I really didn't have the extra to pay my tax bill in full, so I called them on the phone and asked to set up a payment plan, because they will work with you and they will do that. So I set up a payment plan, you know, $50 a month, whatever, pay it every month, pay it online. Of course, they fuck with you there too. You know, depending on how you get online and pay for it, one system will charge you a $5 convenience fee every month to make your payment online. Well, how is me having to pay an extra $5 to pay you convenient for me? It's fucking not. But I go on the IRS.gov website, you can make a direct pay out of your bank account for no extra money. So I said, well, I'll do that, because obviously, you know, I'm not going to piss away $5 a month for nothing if I don't have to. So I set the payment plan up. I talked to someone from the IRS. They got everything ready. I gave them my bank information. They sent me stuff in the mail. I could send a paper check in the mail every month if I wanted with the voucher, but then I got to write out a paper check and I got to spend whatever the fuck it is for the goddamn post office, 42 cents to deliver shit now. You know, unless you got forever stamps, you know, buy forever stamps now, people. Buy $20,000 worth of forever stamps, because in a few more years, when the price of stamps goes up from 42 cents to 80 fucking cents, you'll be able to sell your forever stamps and double your fucking money. Best investment in the government you probably ever made. So anyway, I'm set up on this payment plan, and I'm paying the fucking IRS every month, sending them a payment, sending them a payment. Well, lo and behold, 2 Saturdays ago, about noontime, I come walking into my living room and I hear my doorbell ring. Now, nobody ever rings my doorbell, you know, they knock or walk into the porch and knock on the front door, or they come to the back door. But doorbell rings, I'm like, you know, who the hell is this? And I happen to look out, mailman standing on the porch, shuffling through some stuff. I go out there, he's got his fancy little digital scanner, barcode reader thing, and hands it to me. You need to sign this. I'm like, okay. And he hands me a certified letter. Actually, 3 of them. Because I'm so bad with my taxes, I actually am paying for 3 different years. Ha! I'm a loser. But I have an installment agreement that wraps all 3 payments into one. And he hands me these fucking letters, certified mail, from the IRS, so I'm like, what the fuck is this? I know it's got to be trouble, because, you know, they're not sending you a fucking birthday card, and it's not my birthday anyway, but... So I come inside and I open them up, one at a time. Intention to terminate your installment agreement. Please pay X amount immediately. Okay, what the fuck is this? Open the next one, same exact thing. So I knew they were all 3 of them. Intent to terminate your payment agreement. Please pay this amount immediately. Well, first of all, if I could have paid that amount immediately, don't you fucking think I would have? I don't like being on a payment plan, but I am. So then I get on the goddamn computer, go on my bank account, I look up all my bank statements. I've paid those fucking cocksuckers the payment I'm agreed to pay them every fucking month since we made the agreement. So why they want to terminate? In the letter it says failure to pay. Well, I got receipts, I got bank statements that show that I'm paying it. The problem, and I know what the problem is already, it's because there's 3 different accounts, and they're all supposed to be linked together, somehow in their system, because it's probably on Hillary's fucking email server in her basement, it's not showing up and they think they're not getting paid, even though they are. Because I have had this problem in the past, and I've had to call back for the same thing. We'll terminate your agreement. I call them back, what the fuck are you talking about? I've been making my payments. They get on the computer, they look it up, they're like, oh yeah, we see your payments. You're right, you have been making your payments. Well, I don't know why it comes up that we're going to terminate because you have been making them. They're fucking clueless. They're, for lack of a better word, all right, I'm not going to use the R word to defend. They're fucking morons. And they can't get their shit together. The different parts of the agency aren't talking to one another or whatnot. But the problem is, every time they get an intent to cancel my fucking installment agreement, I have to call them and talk to them for like a half an hour, and they'll redo the paperwork and get my installment agreement all set up again, supposed to be good. But then they tell me, well, to start this installment agreement over, there's a $120 surcharge and handling fee for us to be able to accept payments from you. They've done this to me 3 fucking times already. So, that's $360 that could have been going towards my taxes. But they keep fucking me. And their system doesn't work. And I've been trying to call them ever since I got these latest fucking letters, certified mail. Come home from work, 3:30. Get settled down with all my paperwork. By like 3:40, I'm on the phone. Fucking got the Samsung fucking G5, trying to go, don't use the fucking 7 or the Note 7 because they light on fire. And you'll get burnt. But I try calling them, get the stupid fucking thing, enter my data, automated shit. Oh, please wait for the next available. On hold for 45 fucking minutes. So I give up. So then I call home on Tuesday. I fucking call. I don't even get put on hold and get the shitty music that they play. Well, I got it for about 10 seconds, and then it goes straight to a new message. Due to the high call volume, we will not be able to help you today. Please call back on our next business day. So they're so logged up with backed up calls of people waiting to talk to them that I get home and make the call an hour before their lines close and they can't get to me. So that tells me that I'm not the only one getting fucked by the IRS. Apparently everybody is, especially if you're a Republican or part of the Tea Party or whatever. But they are the most incompetent bunch of fucking people I've ever talked to, because they don't seem to have a clue what's going on. And I'm so pissed right now. When I do call and get through, the call's not going to last long because I don't have patience. And for those of you who don't know, I can have a temper sometimes. And unfortunately, you're not allowed to swear at these people more than once. Because you can swear at them the first time and they tell you, sir, please don't use that language. Let me remind you, you are being recorded. And then if you swear at them after that, they're totally allowed to hang up on you. And the reason I say that is I speak from experience, because I called and I said something and they fucked this up before and basically want another $120 from me just to start the payment process over. It's like, I gave you $120 before because you guys made a mistake and your computer records don't jive. I shouldn't have to pay the $120 again. And of course, well, we're sorry, sir. That's how it is. That's how it works. It's the same for everybody. And I said, I said, that's fucking stupid. Well, sir, please don't use that language. Let me remind you, you are being recorded. And I was like, I don't care. Fucking record me, asshole. Well, click. So then I'm fucking dialing a number again, waiting on hold for another God knows how many fucking minutes to get to another asshole. And, you know, you can never get through to the same one because, you know, they just send you on to another one. I need to talk to a manager or supervisor. I thought about making, you know, some really bad things I was going to say, but with the CIA, the FBI, and the NSA now, I don't need some fucking white van parked outside my door and guys in black suits and glasses and earpieces following me or jacking me out of my house or my job. But it's hard to bite your tongue when you get that upset. It happened with child support one time too, you know. They were being stupid and I said, you guys are fucking useless. And the guy said, hey sir, let me remind you that you can't talk like that, you know. You are being recorded. And I said, well, okay, record this. You're a fucking asshole. Click. So, you know, I mean, whatever happened to freedom of speech, I don't know. I should be allowed to tell them what I think. It's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. So anyway, as far as IRS, I still have to clear this up. So again, I'm going back to work tomorrow. I'm going to get out of there as early as I can. I'm going to drive my ass home. I'm going to get back on the phone and try to call. And I swear to God, if I can't get through to those fucking people before 4:30, I'm going to flip my shit. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to have to call them while I'm at work and put it on speakerphone and be on hold for God fucking knows how long. And when I finally get through, I'm going to have to stop working and go in the break room and deal with it there. All I need to do is get through. Once I get through, I can have the whole matter settled in 10 or 15 minutes. It's getting through to them. And they tell you, oh, if you can't get through, go on the website, irs.gov. That fucking website's about as worthless as two tits on a fucking bull. You can't get anything done on there you want to do. So, fuck the IRS. I don't know, you know, look at my shirt, people. You see this? This guy standing right here? This is me. See this? This is the IRS. You are here. Suck my dick, IRS. I fucking hate you, and you should be abolished. So, I'm going to send a tweet out to my friend, Donald J. Trump, and, you know, see if I can get some advice from him because he deals with the IRS all the time. He's, you know, being audited this year. That's why he hasn't released his tax returns. He's audited all the time. You know, I don't blame him. I wouldn't release anything to those fucking idiots if I could get away with it. But I gotta get my other half nickel here, people. Boy, that's refreshing. That's Budweiser's little brother, Busch. Also comes in 16 ounces. Anyway, so enough about the IRS. Bottom line, fuck the IRS. Fucking abolish the IRS. Abolish the Fed. Fuck everybody. The government, you know, any government entity can fucking suck my balls. I don't care who you are. Except the ones that, you know, pay me money, but I don't work for the government. So anyway, funny story time. We're going to bring back a story from when I was young. It's actually shortly after the first time I ever met my brother-in-law, David Bales. Shout out, David. I was hanging out. I went to a babysitter after school. Susie Andrews, friend of my mom's. She used to watch me, and then eventually my sister when we were young. She had 3 kids, Heather, Scott, and Shannon. Not in that order, I fucked it up. Scott oldest, Shannon middle, Heather youngest. Anyway, you know, we'd hang out. We'd go up to South Acres Park and play baseball, play frisbee, play whatever. Hang out during the summer. Well, we built a little fort. They just made a new Babe Ruth baseball field and, you know, seeded it and covered it all in hay. And in the little wooded area back in the corner by Andy Rufino's house and Tina. Andy, shout out to you too. Hope you're still running marathons. It was nice to see you a couple months ago when you were in town. we built a little fort. We snapped down some small trees. We found a metal pole that came from a fence and basically erected the ribs, you know, and the basic structure of a building, 4 walls and a roof. But then we needed something to fill it in. So we went and we're just grabbing armfuls of hay off the baseball field and stuck it in between all the sticks and the squares until we filled it. We built ourselves a fort out of hay. We were basically like one of the 3 little pigs. We had a fucking house made out of hay. Well then Heather Andrews and I, you know, we were also, you know, we were young kids at the time. We had an obsession, a little obsession with fire and playing with matches and you know, lighting stuff on fire, burning stuff, whatever, burning ants, magnifying glasses, you name it. If it could burn, we tried to burn it. Well, Heather and I walked up the street from her house one day, heading to our fort, our hay fort, and we had a few books of matches with us and some paper towels, and we decided we'd play with a little fire. And we're sitting in our fort, and one of the squares didn't have any hay in it. That was our window, so we could see outside. And we started playing with matches inside a hay fort. You know, fucking brilliant, right? Well, it didn't take but about 17 fucking seconds or so after lighting a match and a couple paper towels on fire that one of the walls of the fort was in fucking flames and fucking growing fast. And we're panicking. We're waving our arms at it. We're blowing at it, trying to put it out, because you know you can blow a fucking birthday candle out. You can't blow a fucking straw fort out, even if you're the fucking big bad wolf. I don't care. If a straw fucking fort is on fire, it's staying on fire. So while Heather and I are in there panicking, trying to fan the flames down, flames are only getting fucking bigger, and we scoot out the little door in the bottom corner of the hatch we had to get out, and we didn't know what to do. We didn't want to tell anybody what we did. We just run across the fucking field, South Acres, run straight for the fence towards the road. We get out to the fence. Instead of turning towards Heather's house, because it was a little farther away, we turned to the left and we ran up the road and we went to Jessica Mitchell's house, Jay. And we get there and pound on the door, and Jess's mom answers, and you know, we tell her there's a fire, and you know, the fire department got called, and meanwhile, as we were running away, we didn't know Andy Rufino's dad, because this was right on the other side of the fence from his house. He was out there with his garden hose battling this fucking thing, trying to put it out. The fire department has to come, you know, only locals would know, but right at the end of South Acres Road, it's a dead-end road. The fort was right there on the other side of the fence. Fire department was called, fire truck had to come, connect hoses, put our fort out, you know, douse the fire. You know, no one dead, no one hurt. It was all kind of okay. But then Heather and I got questioned. You know, how did this happen? What happened? And I'd met my brother-in-law, David, knew him back then, had just recently met him. But he was like a tough kid. He lived in the projects, you know, right up the road. He was a couple years older. He smoked cigarettes. He wore a black leather jacket. He was like a tough guy. And, you know, we were down the road the other way, you know, not right next to the projects. We were close enough you could hear the screams, but we weren't right in the project. And so Heather and I made up a story before the cops and the firemen, you know, confronted us. And we said that we left her mother's house and were walking up to our fort. And as we were crossing through the field, we just happened to look up and saw that the fort was on fire. And that we saw an older guy in a black leather jacket running through the field the other way, jumping the fence to run towards the projects. And, you know, seemed like a good fucking story at the time, and I mean, it's kind of believable if you think about it, even though it was a total fucking lie. I mean, two young, innocent kids that shouldn't even have matches on them, or a kid a couple years older in a black leather jacket that fucking lives in the projects. Of course that's who burnt the fucking fort down. I mean, it's only, we call that project profiling back in the day. That's before there was racial profiling. And, I don't know. I don't know if the rest of you found that funny. I thought it was funny. I'm sure Heather thinks it's funny. I'm sure David, I don't think I ever told David that I blamed it on him. I didn't give a name though. I only gave a, older guy in a black leather jacket. So I mean, that spells guilt right there. It's like biker gangs, project people, whatever. And yeah, so Heather and I got out of it without getting in any trouble whatsoever. And but our fort was burnt to the ground, and I think Andy's dad probably had a mild panic attack while trying to put it out with his little fucking garden hose, because this was like 6, 7 fucking bales worth of hay probably on fire, flames shooting into the sky. And and Jessica, you've called me out at the bar. You remember the story because I ran to your mom's house. And you've known I was guilty all these years. Thank you for not turning me in. And lesson learned there. Kids, don't play with matches or lighters. And at least nowadays it's harder because lighters are child-proof. But anyone can light a match. But and if you are going to play with lighters and matches, please, I beg you, don't do it in a fort made out of hay. It's always going to end up bad, So that's my Smokey Bear lesson for the day, kids. Don't play with matches, especially around hay. And for you adults, don't fuck up with your taxes, because you don't ever want to deal with the IRS, because they're a bunch of fucktards. And I guess we'll leave it at that. Show's over, and I'm about to fucking slam a 16-ouncer. But I don't want to do it on camera because someone might hold it against me someday, most notably my mother. So another week, another show. Goodbye, everybody. I know I went pretty long this week, but you know me. Once I start talking, I'm hard to fucking stop. See you next week. Peace out.